it can be dusty in Seoul, but it is not dusty today. It is just an absolutely beautiful day. Actually, I did this bike ride a few days ago, and those buildings that you can see in the horizon, that's actually, it's called the neighborhood. The neighborhood's called Yeouido. There's the Congress building. You can't really see it in the video, but I could see a lot farther a few days ago. So it doesn't look very dusty, but there must be a little bit of pollution. I'm gonna try to bike around these guys here. Yeah, you know what's crazy about this place is this bike path. So I'm in Seoul, like I'm pretty much, if I went north a little bit, right now I'm going east, but if I went north a little bit, I would literally be in the center of Seoul. And so I'm pretty much in the center of Seoul right now, aside from the fact that I'm not downtown, I'm on the river. But what's crazy is this bike path, which looks like this, literally goes all the way to Busan, which is as far as you can possibly go in the Korean Peninsula. South, obviously, but this one bike path you can take all the way to Busan. One of the presidents a few years ago, or a few presidents ago, thought it was a good idea to make a bike path that goes all the way to Busan. The public was against it because it costs a lot of money, but now they love it. There's a big battleship. Yeah, there's no zombies on the bike to Busan. I've actually done it. I did it a few years ago. It took 5 days. I can bike path the whole way. Let me show you this battleship from the front. I'm not really sure why that's there. It's always there. It doesn't seem to be ever moving. But this is a big river. It's called the Han River. And in Korean it's called the Hangang. If you're just learning Korean, you might not know that Kang means river. And there's a very popular song called Gangnam Style. I would call it Gangnam Style. Kang means river and Nam means south. In theory, everything across the river is Gangnam, because everything across the river is south of the river. But there's a neighborhood that's just called Gangnam, which is of course south of the river, but when they say Gangnam, it could refer to the river that's south of the river. Hold on a second. On that thought, there's a little sort of kids festival going on here on the left. It's kind of interesting. It looks like there's all these parents with their little kids. It's some sort of small thing. Parent-kid day. What I love are these little pagodas that you'll see. Check that out. A nice little place for a date or something like that. We're coming up on this part where you can't really see the water very well because we're more at sort of a garden. But I'll get past that in a second. Just beautiful. So anyways, that's Gangnam across the river. But it's not the neighborhood of Gangnam, it's just the geographic south of the river. Okay, this might be a little bit boring, but it's also beautiful because I'm going through sort of all these trees. Just amazing. Graphite bud, do I bike often? Actually, I bike every single day. I usually get up early in the morning and do it before my wife and baby are awake. I used to always go at this time of the day, but having a 9-month-old baby sort of puts a wrench in those plans. I usually get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and come down here. But my dad's in Seoul right now, so my wife sort of gave me a pass to not wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do it with my dad during the day. I'll turn the camera around. I was going to show you my dad, who's slowly biking behind me, but he's too far behind me right now. just gonna get out of this grassy part in a second. And as I continue to go farther and farther, we'll see closer and closer, we'll see Oído. But it's still, like, with my eyes, it actually looks relatively close. But in the camera, it looks a little bit farther. And if I make a little bit faster, you might be able to see line 2 just zipping by on the bridge over there. I think I might have just missed it. The bridge directly in front of us is a subway bridge or a metro bridge or whatever you want to call it. But there was a train that just went by, but we just missed it. Line 2. My dad's still way behind us. Here we go, here's the water. Just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. The dragonfly. There goes the train, you can see it there on the right. That's line 2 in Seoul, going across the river. And again, off in the distance there, you can see that's Yeouido. Sort of like a financial downtown. You go there on a weekend, there's not really much to see because it's really busy on a weekday because there's obviously lots of people there at work. But on a weekend, there's a nice park and there's the river, which is cool, but I always find it's nicer to sort of go on an evening of a weekday. I assume he's behind me. I'm gonna sort of pull up to the river here and actually get into the nice view of the river. I'm gonna stop, find a good place to stop soon. Yeah, maybe there's not a good place to stop. Yeah, maybe I'll stop right here. Hold on a second, just as I get off my bike.